Hi, everybody. This is Steel Roses podcast. This podcast was created for women by women to elevate women's voices. You have just Jenny here with you today. Um, Last weekend, we closed the winter spring series for season three, for the podcast. And it was a very interesting series for me. The guests were phenomenal, but behind the scenes, outside of the recordings and the episodes that were airing live, I did a lot of soul searching and I've done quite a bit. And that sounds so cheesy to say that out loud, but I've been on quite the journey of self-discovery. So for everyone who's been following along, earlier in the year, I had started to do minisodes because I do enjoy connecting with you all very, very much. And I like to add the minisodes in there so that I can share some real world perspective of, being a mom, being a woman, et cetera, et cetera. The drill. And in April, I knew that I was going to get busy. So, I knew I was going to get busy for work. And so, I went ahead and I used the glass ball, rubber ball method that I always talk to you guys about. So I identified, what do I absolutely need to do in the month of April that I can handle with my current workload? Now, I started a new job in 2025 in January. Very, very blessed and happy with what I'm doing, but I'm very busy. And I struggle a bit because I'm so happy with what I'm doing now. It's difficult for me because I have a hard time not throwing myself 150% into something that I'm really enjoying. So, for example, and I'll walk you guys through this, past 2 years, I was throwing myself in pretty much 95% to the podcast. I still had a daytime job, but I wasn't happy. And so the podcast saved me and it gave me a reason every day. And it actually kept me from really getting depressed and anxious a lot faster than I did end up. So the podcast and you all listening really saved me. So flash forward and I get a new job because you can only sustain yourself at a role where you're unhappy for so long. That's not sustainable. So I get a new job and I love it. I love the people. The work is typical. It's nothing I'm not used to, but the people really make a difference where I am now. And my boss makes a tremendous difference where I am. It's amazing how one person can so completely impact you when you're at work. I mean, we work, 40 plus hours a week. We spend more, unfortunately, we spend more hours working than we do anything else. Um, and so it does have a tremendous impact on you when you're unhappy at work. And so now I am. I'm incredibly happy and appreciative. Now, the double-edged sword here is that because I'm so happy at work and because I love the team and I love what I'm doing so much, um, the balance is I'm having a really hard time balancing this. I've never been the type of person that could evenly spread myself. I'm either all in or I'm not. And as I'm talking this out loud too, I feel like I'm working it out a bit myself. So January, I started my new job. February, things are moving. I'm going at a good pace and everything. March comes and I start to see the writing on the wall that April's going to be hot. Like it's just going to be a hot month. So I made the decision I moved all my podcast appointments out of April. I canceled every extra activity that I had on the calendar. I just made space. Now I made space to save my sanity because I knew I couldn't try to do it all. Now I'm going to take a minute and give myself props because to be perfectly honest with you, that is not something I would have ever done before. Prior Jenny would have tried to do everything and I would have been like, oh, I can handle it all while I was falling apart. I didn't do that this time. I chose not to do that this time. And I chose to do this other path and make sure that I could just prioritize what I could. I gave my whole family a heads up. I told my husband and my kids, this month is going to be really tough on all of us. Just get ready. Okay, guys. And I just kept prepping everybody up for it. I just kept saying like, this is really hard on mommy. I'm not happy with this either, but got to do it. I'm, dedicated. I have to get this done. We survived. because you always do. Work is not going to kill you. Well, my work is not going to kill me. Um, and we got through it. And it was hard. It was brutal, but we got through it as a family, and I was just very busy the whole time. And so after April, May kind of just slid into place, and I'm still a little busy, but things are flowing. But the problem that I'm encountering is that, again, because I love what I'm doing so much and I'm so happy, it's making me deprioritize. And I hate to say this out loud because it pains me, but it's making me deprioritize my podcast work. I get to the weekends, so usually I do podcast work on the weekends, and I'll try to do some in between in the work week or whatever. But because I want to make sure I'm prioritizing my family and kids at night, Monday through Friday, and because they have so many activities, I couldn't do stuff during the week, so that was getting a little hairy for me. And it just become a struggle because any free moment that I had, I wanted to spend time with my family. And this is probably why majority of podcasters are not women, because we do get spread so thin, and then we're forced to prioritize, and something that we love. Something that we love falls to the back burner. It's interesting because I've been struggling with this for months now at this point. So much so that, well, you can hear it in my voice. You already know what's happening on this side, but I've been struggling so much with this that I even considered just ending with this series and doing a farewell. And now as I sit here and I say it out loud, because I haven't said it to anybody out loud, you guys are the first to hear this. I know that that's not okay for me. And I know it's not okay because I can actually feel my throat chakra tightening up as I say it. And I can feel myself feeling this massive release of I've been holding on to this scared feeling of I'm going to lose something that I love. And so now that I've said it out loud, I know for sure that that's not what I want. And so what I'm working through is finding a way to move forward with my podcast and to continue on this path and this journey with all of you while maintaining, my job and my family and everything else. And I will find a way. I always do. But again, it's that practice of balancing what you love across multiple things. I've never been good at that. So I guess this is my first time giving it a real solid shot, balancing a couple of things that I love at the same time. So we'll see how that works out. But I wanted to share all that with you because I think that, a lot of times we do get caught up in our own heads, and you've heard me do it live here with you. Where I start crying while I'm recording because I'm letting something out that's been stuck inside. I'm beyond words at this point because, which you all know is difficult for me to say because I usually always have the words, but I'm beyond words at this point because I'm so grateful to be able to have this platform to even think about not having it next month or even to stop. It feels like it would leave a gaping hole. And so I say it here and now. I'm going to do my best to try and make it work because this is something that I love and it's something that I enjoy. And whether that means I, shorten the amount of episodes, whatever the case may be, I will figure out a way. I will find a path. Now, with that, I am starting the summer series with this episode. So you are going to have a bit of a break from me while I am on my first ever big family vacation with my husband and kids and stepkids and grandkids and everybody. So there will be a little bit of a pause. There will be no guest episodes coming out this summer, just little quick snippets, one-on-one minisodes with me, if you will. And I'm just looking forward to just getting back in the groove of just podcasting and putting ideas out there and putting thoughts out there with you guys and having you all, you know, come to me with thoughts and ideas and your own voices. If you are interested in being a part of the podcast, if you're interested in being a guest, the fall lineup is actually already falling into place pretty aggressively. There's several hundred emails that need to be addressed. So if you're one of the people that has emailed me and said you want to be part of the podcast, I apologize that I haven't gotten back to you. I'm working on it. I'm doing my best. Feel free to shoot me an email, steelrosespodcast@gmail.com. And I think there might be some contact information in the description of this episode as well. But please reach out. I'm going to stay with you. I'm sticking with you guys. I love doing this. I love having a platform. And I want to be that small percentage of women that continues to maintain a podcast and that continues to spread good, positive messaging and really making us think before we judge and really making sure that we have a safe space to come to when we just need to hear something. So I greatly appreciate all of you. I appreciate you being here with me in spirit, even though it sounds a little nuts. You're all over the world, but I am so grateful for you. So until next time, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care.